RMJ Movie Reviews back again with an on-the-fly movie review and Black History Month movie review of Get Out. Oh, wow. Let me tell you, you guys know who are my faithful subscribers and viewers. You know that I'm a horror movie lover. And I grew up on the horror films of the 80s and the early 90s. So, I love that genre. It's a fun genre. You can just cut off your brain and escape from life and enjoy the ridiculousness of it. I don't take any of this stuff seriously. There's every so occasionally where, you run into films where you go, the Roger Ebert in me will come out sometimes where I go like, this is just pushing the line. This is not entertainment. This is crossing the boundaries. But anyway, let's get back to Get Out. Okay, I saw the trailer for this film. Later on, after I give the review, I'm going to digress a little bit like I always do. But either way, I saw the trailer for it, and I was kind of like, I didn't really know how to take it. I was kind of like, okay, so what we got is Jungle Fever meets, I don't know, Rosemary's Baby meets The Wicker Man. I don't know. It was just like a weird blend of like Jungle Fever and some kind of 70s, early 80s horror film. So I was just kind of like, all right, And I recognized the guy from Sicario, who was Emily, I think her name is Emily Blunt, her partner from Sicario. And I think that guy's a good actor. I really like his vibe, his energy. And and it's been a long time since I've seen, a brother it's just been a long time since I've seen a brother who's kind of doing a little bit of horror and doing some other things. So I was like, man, let me just check it out. And I started seeing reviews online, and I was kind of like, okay, this is getting good reviews. I wasn't really sure how to take it because I saw the way the trailer was edited, but I enjoyed this movie. I really, really, really like this movie. It's about what I'd say it is. It's a blend of kind of, you're taking, what I love about this movie is, first of all, it's kind of a little bit of a parody of what you would imagine the quotation mark troubles of an interracial relationship to be exaggerated. It's almost it's very much a parody, right? But at the same time, it's a genuine horror film, and it's playing the horror straight. So you do have the typical jump scares. I also like too that the guys who made this apparently, they do sketch comedy, but they apparently they're lovers of horror films, and I can tell that here because I'm a horror movie lover. As some of you have seen my earlier videos in my channel, John Carpenter is my favorite horror movie director. I actually have two favorite directors of all time. Just for me is John Carpenter and John Singleton of Boys in the Hood fame. Not saying they're the greatest, but they're my personal favorites. And there's a lot of Carpenter-esque kind of stuff in here. There really is. And I was catching it when I was watching it. I'm not sure if a lot of the audience members or other people would notice it, but there's a little bit. There's a shot in here that's very much an homage to Halloween. I don't know if it's an homage to Halloween, but I think it's a shot where Linda and her boyfriend are making out on the couch, and the music goes and it kind of pans back. You see Michael Myers' shoulder. That shot, or when Michael Myers is watching Jamie Lee, I wish I had you all alone. And the camera goes back and Michael Myers' shoulder comes in. There's a shot in here that's just like that. Long takes. Man, I really dug this movie. And I think what's really great about it is it's an original concept for a horror film. You take, and see, what the filmmakers did, they did something real slick here, was you take a subject, unfortunately, in 2017, that for a lot of people is still very uncomfortable, which is not just interracial relationship, but the specifics of black men being romantically involved with white women is still very, very taboo in this day and age. You would have thought we've come along farther than that, but that's just the reality. There are still people who frown on black men dating white women and white women dating black men. That's just what it is, And what they did was they took something that's uncomfortable to a lot of people and they put it into a horror film. So you're taking something I mean, you're taking something where it really it's just what it is. I mean, some people see a black man make out with a white girl, it freaks people out still in this day and age. So you're taking something that's uncomfortable for some people and you put it in a horror movie environment. So you have that discomfort of the interracial relationship, and how are the white family members going to take this interracial relationship, and then you put it into a horror film. So you got kind of the discomfort of like the suspense of what the hell is going on, this is weird, and then you got that discomfort and you blend them together. It's brilliant. In my opinion, I think it's brilliantly melded together. It's not the greatest horror film of all time, it's not going to reinvent the wheel, but it's an original picture. And as far as let me go a little bit further with it, guys. I'm gonna try to do this as short as I can. I'll try. But the movie, the very first half, it really plays with a lot of kind of the things that, and I can speak for myself as a black man, kind of the things that you go through as black men. Sometimes you are in situations where you're the only black guy around. And unfortunately, I will say a lot of the stuff, like with black guys meeting older white men who go like, oh, I voted for Obama. Ooh, Tiger Woods is my favorite golfer. Jesse Owens, Hitler was up there and da-da-da. Unfortunately, I have been there before. Unfortunately, digressing, I do remember when I went to a college that was in a rural part of Ohio. And I do remember one time, this is like years ago, I think I was about 23. And I do remember a white guy, he's the same age as me, we were both 23, and he goes, have you ever experienced racism before? So, unfortunately, the stuff at the party that the main character is going through, it's really real. There really are some people who are so out of touch with the spectrum of just living around people who don't look the same color as them that they say absolutely the dumbest stuff possible because of their own discomfort. And unfortunately, that first half of the movie is 100% authentic and real. And also it plays on kind of the thing where, like, in some families of color, they do tell us men of color, do not date white girls. It's sad. We wish we could all be We Are the World and get along, but it's just a reality of life, and this movie plays on those very well. So that part of the movie I really loved because, all of us in the audience, we just like, yeah, that's real. You're laughing at it because it's kind of done parody. It's done like in a parody, but it's real. It's unfortunately real. I love that stuff, and I love how it's also just a situation of this dude is like, he kind of has that discomfort of like, I'm the only black guy around and I'm kicking it with this white girl. But then at the same time, stuff is just getting weird. He's just like, what the hell is going on here? The people who work for the house are black. I feel like this is some Roots type stuff. What? And they're acting weird. It's like, they're acting creepy. They're acting strange. He's being like on the slide, being messed with. He meets her younger brother, and this dude is a freak show. It's nuts, man. I had such a great time with this movie. So I will say I highly recommend this for people who love kind of offbeat, kind of new horror films. I'd say horror films like Don't Breathe, Green Room in some respects, which that's not a straight horror. But man, these independent, smaller films are just knocking them out the park this year, man. They're killing garbage like the Poltergeist remake and all this other PG-13 crap. These original horror films are killing it. And I left a comment on Pizzazz channel about how the Friday the 13th part 2 sequel reboot or whatever was canceled, and I said, look, I'm happy it was canceled. And then somebody, some a-hole told me F you, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. You don't want it to be like Jason. I love Jason. I love Friday the 13th. I love all those 80 horror films. I still have all my VHS tapes that I bootleg copied from mom and pop video stores back in the day. I love those films. But my main point being is that all those guys from the 80s, they're a product of their time. They only appeal to people like me who still love all those old horror films, or people who grew up in that era. Remember, but the thing is, point being, those films are of their day. audiences now, these young kids aren't going to get Freddy and Jason and all that. It is time to put effort towards horror films like Get Out and Don't Breathe and stuff like Greenhouse. Things that are independent and new that play with the genre. So I'm digging, man. I really, really like this movie. Again, it ain't gonna reinvent the wheel. It's not the greatest, but I really, really like the film. I really, really enjoyed it. As far as the gore is concerned, this doesn't hit Hills Have Eyes remake level or it doesn't get that gory. It has enough to satisfy the sadists and all. I think the hardcore, really, really sadistic horror fans aren't. It doesn't even get as gory as Green Room. So I don't think they may not enjoy it, but people who just like things that make them feel uneasy and just kind of take this concept of interracial dating and put a twist on it into this horror situation, it's very well done. Matter of fact, this kind of reminds me of Robert Townsend's movie Hollywood Shuffle from the 80s. And there's a segment of that movie where they're sneaking into movies, right? And they're attacking the street pimps. This is almost like this movie Get Out, that trailer could have been one of those movies they reviewed within that movie Hollywood Shuffle back then. Those of you all know what I'm talking about. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. It's a great fun time waster. I loved all the performances from all the actors. I don't know the name of the actor who played his girlfriend's little brother, but that guy, very creepy, very uneasy. I kind of wish he would have had more to do when it's his moment for the final showdown. I kind of wish that him and the main guy kind of would have had more of a kind of an old school fist fight battle to the death. I think they could have did a little bit more than that. But, for what it was okay. I love this film. This gets a super duper high rating from me. I give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. I really, really liked it. So guys who enjoy original horror films, something that's a little bit different, a little bit of a twist, a little bit of horror, a little bit of laughs, it's a great time waster. Look, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and don't forget to ring that bell at the bottom of the screen, y'all, so you can know when my new videos are popping up, and leave comments down below about Get Out. It is a great time. RMJ Movie Reviews. I'll see you soon with the rest of my Black History Month movie reviews.